Hi, welcome to Secrets Other Guitar Teachers Don't Tell You. I'm Gail with GuitarWithGail.com. Today's Music Bite 1, is to understand the major scale and why it is so important. Each Music Bite is going to cover one of the secrets that other guitar teachers don't tell you. The first secret is the construction of the major scale. Everyone has heard it before. It sounds like this. Yes, the old do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But did you know it's based on a simple formula? The major scale formula is just like a staircase. Some notes have a step in between them and some do not. The formula for major scales is whole step, half step. Whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And if we look here at our staircase, we see that between C and D we have another step. Between D and E we have another step. But between E and F, just a half a step there. So those are right next door to each other. And then F and G, we have a step, G and A and B, and then between B and C, once again, a half a step. So that is how this staircase is built. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. This formula is the actual key for all major scales in Western music. Now we can easily see this by looking at the piano keyboard. Did you ever wonder why there are black and white keys? The black keys are the half steps in the scale. Now notice that there's a black key between D and E. Now here's D and E right here, D and E. We have this black key right there, okay? But there is not a black key between E and F. No black key. That's because there's only a half step between E and F. There's also no black key between B and C. Okay, again, they're a half step apart. They are next door neighbors. And this half step apart is what is the key to the first secret. All right, now, what happens if we try to apply that major scale formula to a different key? Let's look at a different key, the key of G major. Now, since the musical alphabet for each key starts on that key's note, the scale for a G major should be G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Well, let's listen to that and see what that sounds like if I play that. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound like that C major scale, does it? Let's take a closer look. The formula is going to work until we get up to the top of the staircase. So let's see. We have G and A, which is a whole step, and A to B, which is a whole step. B and C is a half step. That's good. C and D, whole step. D and E, whole step. But E and F, we've got this black key in the middle. Why is that in there if E and F are supposed to be next door neighbors? What's going on? All right, again, let's look at our piano again. We're still looking at a C major scale, but let's follow through. We know that we needed a whole step between the E and F when we were looking at that other scale, but yet E and F are right next to each other. So if they're next door neighbors, how do we get a whole step for the formula? Well, it's actually simple. We raise the tone of the F note by one step, and so we make it an F sharp. And so it becomes an F sharp. And what we do in order to do that is instead of playing this key right here with the F, we're going to play this black key, which is known as the F sharp. And that will make the scale sound perfect. So I'm going to play it again, and I'm going to put the F sharp in. Here's the F sharp. And that sounds like a perfect major scale, doesn't it? All right, that's the way that major scales work. As long as you stick with that formula, you can play in any key and you'll be able to figure out what all the notes are in that scale. You may occasionally have to raise a note by a half a step or lower it by half a step, which is called flatting the note. If we lower it, we're flatting it. If we raise it, we're sharping it. So it's actually not very complicated. You can sit down and pick some other keys, and as long as you use that formula and remember that E and F and B and C are always next to each other, then you'll know when you have to raise and lower notes in order to keep the whole step, half-step formula going. Okay, that's it for this music bite. If you're ready to sign up for guitar lessons, give me a call at 240-415-8572, or you can visit my website at www.guitarwithgail.com. We'll explore the next secret, how to build chords, on the next install. Thanks for watching.